This has our digital DTHCII torch height control. You can see it on the side of the box. It's accessed from right here. This is the input. This uses a standard parallel port. This is a parallel port and a serial port for doing communications to and from the unit. It's got a front panel control for this powers the motor to the, this powers the DC to the motors. This is not the main power. The main power is on the end of the box, but this allows you to turn the power on and off to the motors. And this is a smart power supply. It's got a processor built in, and it monitors all of the conditions of the power supply, like overload, overcurrent, over voltage. It will also, it's got a temperature sensor inside the box, so if it gets too hot, if your fan gets stopped up, things get too hot in the box, it'll actually shut it down and warn you. There are fault lights on the front to give you status, and if it does shut down, it will show you why it shut down. It'll shut down from a motor drive fault, it'll shut down from temperature or overload. With this kit comes 4 of the 620 stepper motors. These are some of the highest torque stepper motors in this frame size that you can get. We had these motors specially designed for this project several years ago. They've been a really good motor for us, and you get 4 motors with this system. You need 4 motors because we're going to put a motor on each side to drive the gantry up and down the table. You need a motor for your cross axis, that's 3, and then of course you need your Z motor, that's 4. Like I say, this box can be expanded. There's room in the box to mount a 5th axis driver, and if you'll notice on the side right here, we've got our outputs for our motors. The motors come like this from the factory. They've got connectors on them. They simply plug into the side here, and there's a cutout, there's a knockout for a 5th axis there if you want to add that to the system. This is the motor output section. We've got 4 drivers here. These are Gecko stepper drivers. They're interfaced directly through our card. They've got opto isolation on the card, and it allows you to plug the motors in directly on the side here. They come like this from the factory. The motors just simply plug in like that. There are 2 auxiliary power relays in this setup, and they actually connected through the AC auxiliary to the AC sockets that are here on the end of the box. You can use that to power other AC devices. For instance, if you wanted to turn on a air handler or an external light, whatever you want, you can do that inside the box. This is our main input plate. It's got a breakout board here. It's called a U-bob. We've been selling this board now for about 4 to 5 years, and it's got some special features in it, but it's made to interface with our digital torch height control, which is right here. That's this module at this point. Everything in here is modular, so we can pull it loose. This comes loose with 2 screws and 1 ribbon cable. So basically, to change this out, if you need to change it, takes about 5 minutes. This board here, as you can see, has several connectors on it, but they all connect directly across to local cards. This card here is called our table I/O board. It's got inputs, and these are tab inputs, so you can use crimp-on tabs, and we supply you with knockouts on the end of the case down here to bring your cables in, your external cables for your homes and limits if you want to use those, and they're tied in right here. And we have a auxiliary connector here that ties to our optional ohmic sensor, our feather touch.